Kia ora, and welcome to the Half Marathon Hub Weekly, your weekly roundup of half marathon running from around New Zealand. I'm Coach Ray from Qwik Kiwi Coaching and www.halfmarathontraining.co.nz. And each week we're going to bring together what's been happening in the New Zealand half marathon scene, some practical training advice you can use in your own program, and a look ahead at the races coming up around the country. This week we've got results from 3 half marathons, including some very quick racing in Taupō. We've also got a Qwik Kiwi athlete celebrating a sub 2-hour performance. Then I'm going to spend some time talking about one of the most important sessions in your entire half marathon program, the long run. We've also got our workout of the week, which is a 4x4 minute hill session, before we look ahead to the 4 half marathons taking place around New Zealand this coming weekend. And finally, if you're preparing for the Auckland Half Marathon, there's an important date coming up. Our dedicated 12-week Auckland programs start next Monday, the 10th of August. So let's get into it. The weekend results. Let's start with the racing. There were 3 half marathons we're following from the weekend: the Taupō Half Marathon, the South Island Half Marathon, and the Tāmaki River Half Marathon. At Taupō, there are some seriously quick running. In the men's race, Michael Voss took the win in 1 hour, 7 minutes and 56 seconds. Casey Thorby was second in 1:08:44, with Lewis Young completing the podium in 1:13:12. In the women's race, Charlotte Burgess was the winner in an impressive 1:18:31. Amelia Leith finished second in 1:22:11, and Kathleen Hudson was third in 1:25:50. There was also a performance in Taupō that was particularly pleasing for me from a coaching perspective. Qwik Kiwi athlete Fritha Linklater went into the race targeting the 2-hour barrier, and she got it. Fritha finished in 1 hour 58:10. What I particularly liked about her performance was the way she paced the race. She didn't get carried away early. Her opening kilometres were controlled. She maintained a remarkably consistent rhythm through the middle of the race, and then she was actually able to increase her pace during the closing kilometres. That's exactly what you want to see in a well-executed half marathon. There's a huge temptation when you're chasing a time like 2 hours to bank time early, but you're not really banking anything. More often than not, you're borrowing energy that you're going to have to repay with interest later in the race. Fritha did the opposite. She gave herself the opportunity to run strongly towards the finish and came home comfortably under her goal. Congratulations, Fritha. Moving south, we had the South Island Half Marathon. Simon Cromarty won the men's race in 1:10:48, followed by Hayden Zervos in 1:13:35 and Liam Jones in 1:13:45. For the women, Lily Ainsley took the win in 1:24:18. Natasha Waddell was second in 1:26:20, with Alicia Yee third in 1:27:36. And finally, the Tāmaki River Half Marathon. Hayden Joyce won the men's race in 1:17:09, ahead of Tom Ewan in 1:17:56, and Lucas Osborne in 1:19:21. The women's race was particularly close. Catherine Reardon won in 1:31:08, just 5 seconds ahead of Mian Tu in 1:31:06. Joanne Wainwright completed the podium in 1:31:38. Congratulations to everyone who raced over the weekend. And one of the things I want to do with the Half Marathon Hub Weekly is recognise that the interesting results aren't always the people standing on the podium. For one runner, it might be winning the race. For someone else, it's breaking 90 minutes. For another, it's breaking 2 hours. And for someone lining up for their first half marathon, simply crossing the finish line after months of training can be every bit as significant. Now let's get into some coaching. I want to talk about long runs because they are one of the most important components of half marathon preparation. You don't need to make them complicated, but there are several things you can do to make them considerably more effective. Keep most of your long run easy. The first point is probably the most important. Your long run doesn't need to become a race every Sunday. For most runners, most of the long run should be completed at level 2. That's a comfortable conversational effort. You should feel as though you're working, but you should still be able to talk reasonably comfortably. One of the most common mistakes I see is runners gradually turning their long run into a moderate or hard session. They feel good, so the pace creeps up. And because they can sustain the pace, they assume they're getting a better training effect. The problem is that the additional fatigue can compromise the training that follows. The goal isn't to win your Sunday long run. The goal is to put together a week after week of consistent training. Build your long run gradually. The second thing is progression. Don't suddenly jump from a 60-minute long run to 90 minutes because you've realized your half marathon is getting close. As a general guide, I like to increase the duration of a long run by no more than 10 to 15% at a time. That gives your muscles, tendons, and joints time to adapt alongside the cardiovascular system. Remember, your lungs can often feel ready to do more before the rest of your body is ready to tolerate it. Think in time as well as distance. Another thing I encourage runners to do is to think about long runs in time, not just kilometers or miles. There's a significant difference between a runner who covers 18 kilometers in an hour and 20 minutes and someone who takes 2 hours to cover the same distance. The physiological and the musculoskeletal demands aren't identical simply because Strava says both runners completed 18 kilometers. That's why many of my sessions are prescribed by duration. Your long run should prepare you for your race. As the program progresses, the long run can become more specific. Early in the program, you're predominantly developing aerobic endurance and durability. Later, we can start introducing more race-specific elements, but that doesn't mean every long run needs half marathon race pace thrown into it. The purpose of the session should match the phase of the training you're currently in. Practice your fueling. Your long run is also one of your best opportunities to practice your race day fueling. Don't wait until race morning to discover whether a particular gel works for you. Use your longer training sessions to practice. What are you going to eat beforehand? How much fluid do you need? What carbohydrate are you going to consume during the race? Can you open the packet while running? Does your stomach tolerate it? These might sound like minor details sitting at home, but they become much more important 16 kilometers into a half marathon. Race day should not be an experiment. Practice your equipment as well. Same applies for your shoes, your socks, and clothing. Your long runs are where you discover that a particular pair of socks start rubbing after 80 minutes, or that the shorts you love for a 30-minute run aren't nearly as comfortable after an hour and a half. Nothing new on race day is a cliche for a reason. Use the terrain available to you for your long run. It doesn't always need to be flat. Rolling terrain can be extremely useful for developing running strength. And if your goal race has hills, you should progressively expose yourself to similar demands during training. But don't become obsessed with recreating every meter of your race course every weekend. We're developing the physical qualities required to race well, not performing a weekly dress rehearsal. Don't chase the pace uphill. This is especially important on rolling long runs. Maintain your effort rather than forcing yourself to maintain exactly the same kilometer pace going uphill. If you're meant to be running at level 2 and you hit a decent climb, slow down. That's not failing the workout, it's executing it properly. Consider where your long run sits in the week. Where possible, I also like the long run to line up with the day of your goal event. If your target half marathon is on a Sunday, there's value in doing most of your long runs on Sunday. If it's a Saturday race, Saturday can be your logical long run day, but it's not an absolute rule. Training still has to fit around work, family, children's sports, and the rest of your life. Consistency is far more important than forcing your long run onto a particular day. Add stride outs when appropriate. One little addition I like towards the end of some long runs is stride outs. For example, you might include 4 20-second stride outs, approximately 5 minutes apart, during the final 30 minutes of the run. These aren't sprints, they're short, controlled accelerations where you're running quickly with good technique. And I still like to leave roughly 10 minutes of easy running at the end rather than finishing the final stride out and immediately stopping. It's a simple way of reminding the body how to move efficiently after you've accumulated some fatigue. Recover from the long run, and finally remember that the workout doesn't finish the moment you stop your watch. Get some food and fluid back into you. Do some stretching, and get some quality sleep later on. And make sure the following training is appropriate for the fatigue you've created. The long run only makes you fitter once you've recovered from it. If every Monday you're absolutely destroyed from what you did on Sunday, we probably need to reconsider how you're approaching the session. The goal is enough training stress to create adaptation, not so much that it compromises the rest of your week. So if there's one message to take away from all that, respect the long run, don't race it. Build it gradually, keep most of it controlled at level 2. Practice the things you're going to use on race day and allow yourself to recover afterwards. Workout of the week, 4x4 minute hill reps. This week's workout of the week is one of my favorites for developing running strength and aerobic power. It's 4x4 minute hill reps. Start with 10 minutes warming up at level 2, then find a hill where you can run continuously for around 4 minutes. Even try and make it a little bit longer so you don't run out of hill if you're having a good day. You're going to complete 4 4-minute repetitions at level 5. After each repetition, turn around and jog back down easily. Ideally, that gives you roughly 4 minutes of recovery before starting the next repetition. The goal isn't to sprint up the hill. 4 minutes is a long time to sprint. Instead, settle into a strong, controlled level 5 effort. Concentrate on good posture, effective arm drive, and maintaining your running technique as fatigue builds. Once you've completed all 4 repetitions, finish with 10 minutes of easy running at level 1 to 2, followed by 10 minutes of stretching. This workout fits particularly well into the early quality phase of a half marathon program. You're developing strength without needing a gym or simultaneously creating a substantial cardiovascular training stimulus. One important point, don't judge the repetitions by pace. Gradient, wind, and terrain will all affect how quickly you're moving. Run them according to the required level 5 intensity. The Auckland Half Marathon 12-week training plan starts next Monday. If you're racing the Auckland Half Marathon, this is an important week. Our dedicated 12-week Auckland Half Marathon programs begin next Monday, the 10th of August. There are 5 different training levels available through the Hub Plus: Starter, Builder, Improver, Performance, and Elite. That means we're not trying to squeeze every runner into the same generic program. Someone preparing for their first half marathon has very different training needs from an experienced runner trying to maximize their performance. The programs are built around 3 key sessions each week with an optional 4th run plus dedicated stretching sessions. There's also optional strength training available for runners who want to include it. Most importantly, these aren't generic 12-week programs where you have to work out which week you should start. They begin on Monday, the 12th of August and run directly into the Auckland Half Marathon. So if Auckland is your goal, now's the time to get organised rather than waiting another few weeks and trying to catch up. You can find the details through www.halfmarathontraining.co.nz. Now, let's finish by looking ahead. We've got 4 half marathon opportunities around New Zealand this weekend. There's the Meridian Hydro Half Marathon in Te Anau. In Auckland, there's the Auckland Trail Run and Walk at Riverhead Forest. In Canterbury, we've got race 4 of the Canterbury Winter Trail Running Series at Inverray Station. And there's also race 6 of the Shry Shinamoi Auckland Series. If you're racing one of these events, there's very little fitness you're going to gain between now and race morning. Don't try. The priority this week is arriving at the start line fresh. Keep some running in the legs, maintain your normal rhythm, but reduce the overall workload. And particularly for those racing the trail events, remember that your kilometre splits aren't going to tell you the whole story. Terrain, gradient, and surface conditions will affect pace. Manage your effort, especially early in the race. 21 kilometres gives you plenty of time to catch runners who are a little too enthusiastic in the opening stages. That's it for this week's Half Marathon Hub Weekly. Congratulations again to everyone who raced over the weekend, and particularly to Fritha for getting underneath the 2-hour goal in Taupō. Good luck to everyone lining up around New Zealand this coming weekend. We'll be back next Monday with the results, another training discussion, another workout of the week, and a look at what's coming next on the New Zealand Half Marathon calendar. You can find more training resources, race information, and details about the Auckland training programs at www.halfmarathontraining.co.nz. I'm Coach Ray. Train smart, enjoy your running, and I'll catch you next week.